7th of November, Rabbi Moore, Vayeitzei.
Before. Good. Now. Okay. Let's let go. How is Mayor's wife doing?
Baruch Hashem, she is home and she's resting.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. Let's go. Fine. Parshas Vayeitzei.
Vayeitzei Yaakov Be'er Shava, Vayelech Karana. Okay, Yaakov left Beersheba and he went to Haran.
Okay, so now you translate to Haran, and we'll see in Rashi. Maybe more accurately, it means he went towards Haran. He set out for Haran.
Vayeitzei Yaakov left. All you day.
First question is, if you go back to your last week's Parsha, Pasuk Zayin, chapter Chav Ches, chapter 28, Pasuk Zayin.
Says he went to Padan Aram.
So he already went. He's gone.
But now he's in Beersheba.
Yeah, it says Vayeitzei Yaakov Beersheba Yelech Harana. Oh, so that's what Rashi explains over here, that we're going back to where we left off in Pasuk Zayin. And that's what Rashi is going to explain right now. So let's see the Rashi. Just 1 second.
So Al Yudei Shebishvil She'os Banos Canaan. Because of the reason that the daughters of Canaan were evil. Beinei Yitzhak Aviv, in the eyes of Yitzhak his father, Halach Esav el Yishmael. Esav went to Yishmael. Tiftik ha'in yan b'farashtato shel Yaakov. It made an interruption in the story about Yaakov.
Right.
Uksiv Bayar Esav Ki Verach, etc. Go, etc. And it wrote, Esav saw that Yitzhak blessed, etc. Esav saw that Yitzhak blessed Yaakov when he went to get a wife.
Okay. That Yitzhak had blessed Yaakov and he sent him to Padan Aram. So actually, what I mentioned to you, Pasuk Zayin,
Chazar le'inyan harishon. It returned to the previous subject.
Yeah, when I quoted to you Pasuk Zayin, it would be more accurate to quote Pasuk Hey, because that actually says Vayishlach Yitzchak et Yaakov Vayelech Padan Aram. V'lovon ben Besuah, he already went. And Vayar Esav, and then it says Vayishma Yaakov V'lo V'veilma Vayelech Padan Aram, is all a part of what Esav saw. Okay? Otherwise, Pasuk Vav and Zayin go together. Upon him, either way, the idea is that there was like an interjection over there, whereas we're discussing what happened to Yaakov, that he now went to Padan Aram to find himself a wife on the bidding of his parents. And then we have an interjection that Esav saw that this is what his parents had told Yaakov, go to the house of Lavan ben Besuel and find yourself a wife there. And Esav saw that, and he obviously realized that Yitzchak and Rivka weren't happy with his marital choice. And therefore, that's why he went off to Ishmael to get himself another wife. Okay? So now that was like an interjection, an aside. And now it comes back again. We're going back, you find that some places the Torah repeats what it already said in order to get you back into the subject. We find it in Parshas Vayeitzei, where it says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe and Aaron to go to Paro, and then it interjects with the lineage of Moshe and Aaron, and then it goes back to the Inyan, and it again repeats that Hashem sent Moshe and Aaron to Paro. So sometimes just to get you back into the Inyan, the Torah repeats it. Okay? So that's basically the idea of the pasuk. Okay, next Rashi.
Yaakov left. Lo haya tarich lichtov ela vayelech Yaakov Harana. It only needed to write Yaakov went to Haran.
Right.
Mama tiskir yitziaso. Why does it mention his departing?
His departure, yeah.
Ella Magid, but this tells us Yitzias Tadik min hamakom, when a righteous person goes from a place.
Leaves from a place, yeah.
Osa Shem, he makes an impression. Shebizman Shehat Tadik Ba'ir, for during the time that the righteous person is in the city, Hoda Hu Zina, he is its glory and its brilliance. Hu Hadaracha, he is its splendor. Yatsa Misham, when he goes from there, Pana Hoda Pana Zina.
Ziva.
Ziva, its glory departs and its brilliance departs. Pana Hadara, its splendor departs.
It's what? How do you translate Hadara?
Splendor.
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 Yeah, fine. Very good.
V'chein, similarly, Vayeitzei min hamakom, she left the place. Ha'amur b'Naomi v'Ruth, which is written concerning Naomi and Ruth.
Right. So
Okay.
she left the place. So also the same idea. Her departure left a major impression.
I see. So it's commenting on the word Vayeitzei.
Right.
It's not necessary.
Right.
Okay. Vayelech Harana, and he went toward Haran. Yatsa laleches leCharan. It means that he left in order to go to Haran.
Right. Meaning, not that he got there. That's the whole point over here, because the idea is he was on his way and on the way, Vayifka Bamoke. It's the next pasuk. Okay.
But it seems funny to me that it starts off by saying he left Beersheba. How did he get to Beersheba?
That's where he was. That's where his father was.
Yes, he went to Padan Haram in Pasuk 5.
Padan Aram and Haran are synonymous.
Ah, I see. So how did he get to Beersheba?
1 second. So that's what Rashi's saying. We're repeating what we already mentioned in Pasuk Hey. This pasuk is a repeat of what was stated in Pasuk Hey. Pasuk Hey said that what's the Russian? The pasuk here. I lost it. Vayishlach Yitzchak es Yaakov vayelech Padan Aram. He went towards Padan Aram. Where did he go? Where did Yitzchak send Yaakov from? From Beersheba. That's where they were. And he set out for Padan Aram. Okay? This pasuk just repeats that in slightly different words. So Rashi's bothered. Why do you need to repeat it? We just already mentioned it. The answer is we interjected the subject matter with the story of the fact that Esau went and got himself another wife from the daughters of Ishmael. And then we come now back to the story of Yaakov. But so it like gives an introductory pasuk. So, well, the story so far, you know how it goes, right? So therefore he's saying, the Torah adds this word, Vayeitzei Yaakov Beersheba Yelech Harana. You know, that which we mentioned before, that Vayeitzei Yaakov left Beersheba and set out for Haran. We said over there, Padan Aram, we called it. This is now, the Torah is putting you back into the story now. Okay?
Okay. Vayivga b'makom vayalen sham hi va hashemesh vayikach me avnei hamakom vayasem mira shosav v'yishkav b'makom hahu. So he reached the place and he spent the night there.
So we'll see exactly what that means. Vayifka b'makom. Okay? Okay, as you say, it means he reached, he came upon the place. Okay.
Right, and he spent the night there.
What's the place? We'll see about that. What is the place? What is that? Where's that?
Because the sun had set. And he took some stones from the place and he put them around him, around his head.
Around his head, or at his head.
And he lay down in the place to sleep.
And that place. Okay? Now, he doesn't say, still we're not any the wiser, which is the place over here we're discussing. Okay? So that's Rashi's first question over here.
Lo hiskir hakasuv be'eze makom. It does not mention in the pasuk which place. Ella b'makom nizkar b'makom acher. But the place is mentioned,
which is mentioned elsewhere, somewhere else.
In another place. Hu har Hamoria, which is Har HaMoriah.
Now, where's that called Hamokom? Shnei boy,
Which is
which it says,
about which it writes, Vayar es hamakom me rachok. He saw the place from afar.
it just says Hamokom. Again, that place also just like doesn't describe what it's called. It says the place. And later on, the Psukim tell us that it's referring to Har HaMoriah. So the place, when the Torah describes a place as the place, right? Then we're referring to Har HaMoriah. Okay? That's the place to be. It's the place. Okay? In fact, that's the Chazal say, Har HaMoriah is, that's where the Even Shesiyah is. Right? What's the Even Shesiyah?
The big rock that's in London.
Today as the Dome of the Rock, right? That rock, which was the place of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. I don't know actually if the rock that is there is the same one as, but that which was in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, I don't know. But anyway, they say so. But the reason why it's called that rock was Even HaShesiyah, because Shom, from there, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kaviyachol created everything from that stone. This was the foundation stone of the world. Okay, so therefore, this was the place. Okay, says Rashi, next Rashi, Vayivka.
He reached Mo Ufaga Biricho. Like it says, and it reached Jericho.
Right.
Ufaga Bedabashes.
Right.
And it reached.
So what's the name of the place?
Bashes. V'Rabosenu Hershu Lashon Tefillah. And our rabbis explained it as an expression of prayer. Kamo V'al Tifga Bi. Like it says, do not entreat me.
Okay. You also have a son by Rus and Naomi. So Rus said to Naomi, don't outifki me. Don't press me to leave you. Let me come with you. Okay.
That's not prayer.
That was a prayer. She was saying, outifki me. Don't press me. Don't try to plead with me.
That was not a prayer. That was a statement from Ruth to Naomi.
It was a prayer to Naomi. I mean, she was pleading with Naomi.
She was praying to Naomi?
No, Naomi was trying to press her to leave. She's asking her, please leave, please go back. So that's also, I mean, obviously, normally our prayers are towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When we plead for something, we beg for something, we turn to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But in that particular case, it says that Ruth said to Naomi, "Al tifki bi, don't press me to make me leave you and go back." It's also the same thing. We had actually, I don't know why Rashi doesn't bring it. In the beginning of Chayei Sarah, that Avram Avinu asked the Hittites, "Neches ufigu li be'Ephraim ben Soicha." Pray for me, in other words, beg for me, plead for me with Ephraim ben Soicha that he should agree to give me the field. Okay, so it's Lashon Pegia. Okay, now according to this, the expression of the pasuk means he prayed at the place. Vayivka b'mokem. He prayed at the place. Okay, it says Rashi carry on. V'lomadnu.
We learn from this Shetikain Tefilas Arvis, that he established the prayer of Mariv.
Arvis means the evening prayer.
Isn't that the same in
Because
Mari?
it says, Vayifka b'mokem, he prayed at the place and slept there kiva hashemesh because the sun had set. Okay, we're going to see more about this Lamaisa, but Yaakov Avinu was the first one to pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu specifically at evening time.
Shina
Okay,
HaKadosh. And alternatively, it was written.
No, V'shina, the prophet changes from the regular term. V'lo chosa vayispalel doesn't say that he prayed there.
What does Shina mean?
Changed. The pasuk changed its expression. Shinui is a change.
Yeah, so it used an alternative word.
The Shina, okay, you want to put in those words. Okay, the Shina Kosav, yes.
Okay. And it did not write the word yispalel, to pray. L'lamedcha shekafta lo haaretz, to teach you that the land shrunk for him.
Right.
Kamo shemiforash beperek gid hanasha, as it is explained in the chapter Gid Hanasha.
Yeah. So now Rashi's adding in, by the way, another explanation of Vayifka b'mokem, which Rashi didn't emphasize according to the first explanation, that it came upon him suddenly. It says, why did the Torah use the term Vayifka b'mokem? Means he, according to the first explanation, he came to the place. So why do you say Vayovoy lamokem? What's the Vayifka b'mokem? Means he came upon it suddenly. And so therefore, why was it sudden? He was on his way. Why you can't see it? How comes the place came upon suddenly? Means that Shekov Tzoloi Haaretz, the land shrunk for him. He had Kvitzas Haderech. And therefore, he didn't expect to already come to this place. And all of a sudden, he was already there.
Hiva Hashemesh, because the sun had set. Haya lo lichtov vayavo Hashemesh, and it should have said the sun set.
And then he read Vayol and Sham, and then he rested there. He stayed there the night.
Hiva Hashemesh mashma, because the sun actually set.
No. It was using that terminology, Kiva Shemesh, because the sun had set. Mashma implies that the sun suddenly set for him, unexpectedly. Shaloi ba'inosa, not in its regular time. Kedei sheyolin sham, in order that he should stay there the night. So Rashi is saying Kiva Shemesh is implying that the sun set before its time. And we'll see elsewhere that in Parshas Vayishlach, after he was Yaakov was fighting with the Malach of Esau, it says Vayizrach lo Hashemesh. The sun shone for him. Chazal say it means that the sun made up for its lost time. It set early, and then the sun rose early to make up for the time when it had set early. Okay.
Vayasem mira'a shosav. He
And he
arranged them
placed
around his head. Asa'an Himin Mar Zav Saviv L'Rosho. He made them in the form of a drain pipe,
gutter.
a gutter around his head.
It was like a gutter shape. It was a semicircular shape.
Shahaya Yarei Mipnei Chayos Raos, for he was afraid of many wild animals.
I don't see the word many here. Chayos Ras, because of wild animals. He was afraid of wild animals.
What is Raos?
Bad, wild, evil.
Oh, because of evil animals.
Which means basically what we call wild animals, vicious animals.
Vicious animals. I see. Chilu mi Marie Vos Zo im Zo. And they began to argue this one with this one.
Right.
Zos Omereth, this one said, Alai Yaniach Tzadik es Rosho. Upon me, he should rest, the tzaddik should rest his head. The Zos Omereth, and this one said, Alai Nechiach, on me he should rest. Miyad Asa'an HaKadosh Baruch Hu Evan Achas. Immediately, Hashem made one stone.
Made them all, he rolled them all into one stone. Okay.
And this is what is written.
This you can understand.
Ha'aven, and he took the stone. Asher Sham Mira.
Asher Sham Mirash himself, which he had placed at his head. So Rashi's got a question. What do you mean? These stone which he placed at his head? There were a number of stones. The answer is all those stones which Yaakov had placed at his head all became one stone.
It says Lashon Mi'us, exclusionary term.
Where are you saying that?
I'm continuing to read. It says that he lay down to sleep in that place. Is in
Miut.
Makom Shekav. That he lay down.
Lashon miut means it's an exclusion clause. Vayishka b'makom, he lay at that place, but till then he hadn't laid down. V'oisa makom shachav, in that place he lay down. Aval abasrei shonim sheshimesh b'beis Ever, the 14 years that he had served in the house of Ever, lo shachav balaylo. He didn't lay down. Shahaya oisek b'torah. He was busy learning. Okay, now Rashi doesn't say this, but Rashi says elsewhere, makes the cheshbon. In most notably at the end of last week's Parsha. Yeah, Rashi says that Yaakov did not go straight from Beersheba to Haran, but he stayed 14 years in the house of Eber. Shem wasn't alive anymore, but Eber was still alive. He spent those next 14 years learning Torah. And Rashi has a whole cheshbon. At the end of last week's pasuk Tes, last Rashi, not much the last Rashi, but the last pasuk of last week's Parsha, Rashi has a whole long explanation to prove that Yaakov Avinu stayed 14 years in the house of Ava. It's interesting, by the way, the Torah doesn't say, Rashi doesn't say anyway, where was Ava living? Okay? Now, I've got two points to make over here to say that the Maisa, L'chaira, the house of Ava was in Beersheba itself. How do I know? Where was Yitzchak and Rivka residing? Where were they residing? They were residing in Beersheba. Okay?
That?
Sorry?
How do you know that?
Because where does it mention? Well, first it says Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheba. That's where he left, from where his parents were. Where else do we have it? It says it in where is it? In the beginning of the previous in the Parsha, it says, the chapter 26, Pasuk Lamed Gimel, he says that they dug another well, and then Avimelech got all upset, and he came to him with Fichol, and they made a treaty. It says, "Vahi bayom ahu vayavo avdei Yitzchak vayagidu lo al odos habe'er asher chafaru vayomru lo motzanu moim." That day, the servants of Yitzchak said, "We found water. We found another well." Vayikra oso shiva al kein shemoeh Beersheba ad hayom hazeh. And that's the chayr where they were when they said, doesn't say they changed place. So this is where they were at the time of the brachas, and this is where Yaakov left them. Now, if the pasuk says over here, Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheba, when was that? At the end of the 14 years or the beginning of the 14 years? It's not clear. The Chayra would have said that it was after the 14 years. Anyway, I have no proof to it, solid proof, but the Chayra Pshat is that the place of Ava was right there, near where Yitzchak lived. The only thing is, Esav didn't find Yaakov there because he was hidden there. Nitzman b'beis Ava. He was like hidden in the house of Ava, and it could as well be that the fact that Yaakov was learning Torah, the Esav couldn't harm him then, wherever he was. When he was in the yeshiva there of Ava, Esav couldn't harm him. Akopan is mashma that he was hidden there those 14 years. Okay. Meir's left us again. Let's do one more pasuk just to finish. Okay, you're very tired.
Oh, Mayor's in and out, and I'm tired. Okay. We're on 13.
Oh yeah, he's back. Wait 1 second. Mayor's back. Mayor.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes,
Pasuk
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, because earlier I was having microphone problems. Okay. Pasuk 13. Let's read it. V'hinei Hashem nitzav alav vayomer ani Hashem.
Before that, one second. Pasuk Yud Beis. Pasuk 12.
Oh, you'd bet. Oh, okay. Sorry. Vayachalom. So he dreamed. V'hinei sulam, and here a ladder mutzav artza went from the earth.
Was standing on the ground.
Oh, was standing on the ground. Okay. Virosho Magia Shemaima. And the top of it reached the heavens. V'hinei, and behold, Malachei Elohim Olim the Yordim Bo. And the angels of Hashem went up and came down on it.
Right, we're ascending and descending on it.
Okay. So that's what Rashi comments on. Olim v'yordim, ascending and descending. Olim techila v'achar kach yordim. So at first they went up, and afterwards they came down. Malachim what's this? Shelivu? Who?
Shelivuhu. The
Shelivuhu.
angels that were accompanying him, Ba'aretz, in the land.
Oh, okay.
Ein
Ein
yotzim.
chutza la'aretz. Oh, they couldn't go out of the land.
Oh, they don't, right, they didn't go to Chutz La'aretz.
Uh-huh. V'alu l'rakia. So they went up to the sky. V'yardu malachei chutza la'aretz. Oh, and afterwards, okay. The angels outside of the land came down lila voto to escort him. That's interesting.
So first the ones of Eretz Yisrael went up, then afterwards the ones of Chutz La'aretz came down. Okay, I think we'll stop here. Okay, so we got up to Pasuk Yud Gimel. Okay, very good. Have a great day.
Thank
You
you.
too, Rabbi.